Hi, everyone. So today I'm going to be talking about local SEO and how you can use it to your advantage. So this is going to be very informational to anybody who is a barber or a plumber or someone who works on like a specific geography and they have like restraints within this geography. This could also apply to, if you're trying to rank nationally, like across Canada or the United States. So this is going to be helpful to anyone who has business that is pertaining to a specific location. Let's jump into some of my pieces of advice. So the first piece of advice I would give anyone who is looking to use local SEO is to firstly just remember to have your location within your website itself. This could be within the important parts of your website. So this includes your title tag, meta description, heading tags, homepage copy, specific blogs. Just spread your keyword across different parts of your website, but most importantly, the location to the specific places that I just told you. So that's number one. And that's probably the most obvious thing that you would think of. The other thing you can start doing is if you're serving multiple locations, let's say you're operating in Ontario, and within Ontario, you're serving Burlington, Newmarket, Toronto, Mississauga, and Brampton. So for each one of these specific locations, what you can do is you can create a variation of your homepage for each one of these locations. And basically what that's going to help do, obviously you're going to have to change up copy a bit, and I'll tell you how to change up that copy. But what that's going to help you do is that now you don't have to stuff all of those terms within your title tag, which would be overkill. Same thing with your heading tag. Like you can't have all those locations with your heading tag. When you create individual pages, it helps you better inject those specific locations within the important places, such as your title tag, meta description, heading tags, and as well as body copy. So within these pages, honestly, it could be very similar copy. I've done even upwards of 95% the same copy. But what you can do with these specific pages, and just to keep it different from other parts of your website, like your homepage, what I recommend is basically going through your homepage and taking the best elements as well as your about page and just kind of combining them into like one page that you're going to replicate for the different locations. And then the text that you're going to use that is different, it could either be like an FAQ. So you have different FAQs at the bottom and you can just change up text there. It only has to be 5% different page over page. But the other thing that's really useful is that you can write like a paragraph that kind of calls out that specific location. So within this paragraph, you can mention the different ways that you would say a specific location. You can mention major landmarks. You can mention the different ways to kind of name that location. So for example, Chicago, right? Chicago, you could say Chi-Town, you can say the Windy City. So all of these different terms can belong on that specific page. And it can also belong on different pages. Let's just say you're just targeting Chicago in general, then you would just have it across the different places. When I'm talking about these, the different ways to kind of say it. So that's what you can do in terms of just on page or on your website to improve your rankings or improve Google's visibility that you operate within specific locations. Actually, let me just tell you one more. The other thing you can do is you can inject the Google map into like your footer or a part of your website, maybe your homepage, somewhere where it's going to get crawled. So once again, it's going to clearly indicate to Google when it does crawl it, that these are the specific coordinates of your business. And this is where you want to be sort of ranked. So that's some of the stuff that you can do in terms of on page. And now there's other stuff that you can do that's off page. When it comes to off page, what you want to do is firstly, you have to set up a Google My Business. So this is going to help you get a knowledge graph. It's going to help you get ranked within the Google Snack Pack. There's a lot of advantages. You can start collecting Google reviews. So there's a lot of advantages to this. So when you're creating your Google My Business, making sure that you're using your official business name. When you're writing your descriptions and you're adding your detail, remember your keywords, your ideal personas, make sure you're adding in images. So this is all going to help you. Apart from that, you can start collecting Google reviews. So Google actually tracks your phone. When you're going from place to place, it knows where you kind of are. When you're getting Google reviews from specific people that have actually gone to your store, it's very impactful. And there's actually businesses around this. There's people who have like 50, 60 cell phones, and they pretend that each one of these cell phones is like an actual sort of person. So they build like the normal sort of profiles and stuff like that. This could be a completely different video, but that's how sometimes people scam Google. So they have like 50 phones and they all are kind of like groomed to look like actual phones of people. And then, people will just drive these phones to a specific location and give it reviews. And it looks like 50 people went to that place. So this is like a strategy people use. But obviously you shouldn't try to do it because eventually Google's going to catch on. But what you can do is, when people do visit your storefront or, are within a specific area, you can ask them to give you a Google review, and that's going to help you rank higher within the Stack Pack and these other sort of places. Also, in terms of off page, what you can do is you can get backlinks from your specific location. So if you're a Canadian company, it would help that you're getting backlinks from Canadian websites. If you're like an Ontario company, it would help if you're getting backlinks from Ontario websites. And when I'm saying Ontario websites, it means like their IP. So that would really help. And then just apart from that, what you can try to do is build citations. You can build citations. These are basically like directory backlinks. You can use a service called Bright Local, and they do it pretty cheaply. They build like a citation for $2. So basically, they'll reach out to these directories and they'll kind of put in all the manual work of feeding in your information from your Google My Business into these directories. And that should help you get more prominence within a certain location. But you can also use Bright Local to basically fix up your citations. So maybe you change your business name or your address or your phone number is different. So just making sure that these are all very consistent down to a single letter. Like if you can have them exactly the same, that's the best situation that you can get yourself into. And yeah, just hiring them to kind of go ahead and fix all these things for you. And that's really also going to help you. So this was kind of like a crash course on local SEO. This is obviously not everything, but if you do these things, it's going to really help your local SEO grow by magnitudes.